summertime. Well, at least in California it was. See, in California, the spring might as well be summer. Well, when you're 8 years old, any day it's sunny outside, it's summertime. And Northern California has the best weather ever. Never too humid, never too hot, never too cold. Can be too humid, but always cool in the shade, and I loved it. And most of all, I loved baseball, and I was good. I'm telling you, made the All-Stars every year. I had a big reputation. Oh, people knew who Little Sam was. Now, no need to guess, I was never very big. And when I was younger, I was even smaller and skinnier. I weighed about 50 pounds wet, with my clothes on, carrying a wet dog on my back. Yeah, I was pretty little, but I was tough, and I believed that I could do anything, and I never cried. Never cried. Now, my dad was an athlete too, and he used to coach me sometimes, so when I was struggling, he'd give me wise words of wisdom. Not that I understood them all the time, but as I get older, they seem to make more and more sense. So it's a big game. I'm 0 for 3, but I'm 0 for 3, and that's not very good. So Dad would say, if you can conceive a thought, and you can believe a thought, you can achieve that thought. And I'd say, okay, Daddy, because that's what you do when my dad gives you lessons. You look at him, you nod, and you say, okay, Daddy. But sometimes he likes to test you, so he'd say, can you conceive hitting the ball, Sam? And I'd say, yeah, Daddy. Do you believe you can hit the ball, Sam? Yeah, Daddy. Then you can achieve hitting the ball, Sam. Yeah, Daddy, you're right. So then I would step out there, step into the batter's box, grip the bat, and do my pre-batting ritual, and begin to chant in my head, conceive, believe, achieve. Conceive, believe, achieve. And the first pitch would come down the pipe looking like a big, fat, juicy hamburger, and I would swing hard, like real hard, like close my eyes hard, like bite my bottom lip hard, and strike one! Then you hear the crowd, it's all right, Sam, nice cut, nice swing. Hey, keep your eye on the ball. It's okay, Sam. So I step back into the box, pre-batting ritual, and the chanting begins, and then you hear the chants from the opposition come into play, all loud and out of rhythm. 15 pre-puberty boys yelling, hey, I'm trying to stay focused on the words of my father. Conceive, believe, achieve. Keep your eye on the ball. And the next pitch comes, a little inside, put my hands in tight, chin down, eye on the ball, rotate the hips, snap the wrist, and pow! A shot to the third baseline. The third baseman jumps up and it just gets over his glove, and all I can hear is conceive, believe, achieve, conceive, believe, achieve. I'm heading down the first baseline. The first base coach is wheeling me on towards second, and I'm chugging. Oh yeah, I forgot to tell you, I was fast, like Deion Sanders fast, like rocket fast, like really foul ball. No, I conceived, I believed, and I thought I achieved it too, but no, I have to step back into the box, grip the bat, pre-batting ritual, and the chanting begins. Conceive, believe, achieve. And I'm chanting, and they're chanting, and I'm chanting, and they're chanting, and then I had this thought. I have no idea what strike 3, but it's out! Why do they do that? Why do they love to call somebody out so much? Especially, it's like the worst thing you could do to a baseball player, especially when they strike out, but they love it. It's like they're going to win the most animated umpire of the year award at the end of the season. Like they've been stretching and doing yoga all year just to call somebody out. Get out! It's sad. Anyway, back to me. Now, there's also something I didn't tell you. I hate losing. It's just not something that I ever took very well. And striking out is a lot like losing, except for it's worse than a team loss. It's like this humiliating, the pitcher is better than you loss, and I hated it. So I started to head back towards the bench, and it's a long walk, and I started walking, and all this emotion started building up in me, and then I start to cry. But I never cried. Mom is like, oh, Sam, can you tell your son to stop crying? Why is he is such a crybaby? When I play basketball, I never cry. Hey, it's just emotional like his dad. He'll get over it. That's wrong. I think from about then on, I cried just about every time I struck out. Every time. So, when we get home, I go to visit Dad in the living room, and he says, okay, conceive, believe, and you will achieve. Maybe not all of the time, but a lot of the time. And I said, Dad, can I ask you a question? Anything. What does conceive mean? The doctor comes and goes through his routine. sores in my mouth as we waited in the lobby, and that I've been bruising a lot more lately. Dad didn't notice this before. He begins to rub his chin with concern. My mother rubbing her heart. Me falling deeper and deeper into illness, while Latoya falls deeper and deeper asleep. The doctor rubs his brow as if to come up with some sort of master plan. I'm sorry, I don't know what to do, but try and keep him cool and out of the heat, maybe. The room begins to heat up. I want out. I want home. Dad wants answers. Mom grows tired with Dad, grows angry, while the doctor rubbing his brow, my mother rubbing her heart, my father rubbing his chin, silent, except for the soft, cooling breath of Latoya, fast asleep, keeping this room from exploding. The doctor, now still stagnant, unmoving, my parents rubbing, tired, frustrated, me falling, losing, failing, Toya breathing, cooling, calm, the doctor still stagnant, unmoving, my parents rubbing, tired, frustrated, me falling, losing, failing, Toya breathing, cooling, calm, the doctor still stagnant, unmoving, my parents rubbing, tired, frustrated, me falling, losing, failing, Toya breathing, cooling, calm, my dad stands up, throwing his arms and says, "What? Are you just going to let our son bleed to death?" There are two types of leukemia, ALL, bad, AML, worse. The results came back, and just like that, my parents were sucked deeper into this black hole. I had AML, which gave us about a 40% chance of survival with chemotherapy, and as long as one of them could be a bone marrow match for me and provide a transplant. Toya, not a match. Mom, not a match. Dad, not a match. This news dropping us down to 25%. 25%. My mom, 26. My dad, 28. Their daughter, 5. Their son, 8, has gone from being a perfectly healthy athlete to having a 75% chance of dying. I'm sorry, but who wouldn't bet on those odds? I mean, if I told you you had a 75% chance of winning the lottery, each and every one of you would have walked out of here right now and spent your life savings on lottery tickets. Why? Because 75% is attainable. It's something you can believe in. This black hole begins to swallow my parents as family and friends say to get a second opinion, but the clock is ticking and you have no idea how much time you have. My parents are forced with choosing a path for my treatment, which is like choosing one of the 3 doors on a game show, except for this time, only one of those doors leads to me living. Endless thoughts, questions, concerns going through the minds of my parents as the doctors are trying to explain the facts of the situation that my mom, 26, my dad, 28, can't seem to rationalize, don't understand, and now have to explain to their son, 8, their daughter, 5, how their worlds will now be different than they ever could have dreamed, imagined, or made up. And all of this at the mercy of a mystery that will never, ever, 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 ever be explained. My parents, in this black hole, now must face me, the boy who must face the monster under the bed, in the closet, in the movies, in his dreams. They always told him wasn't there. Mom, when can we go home? I have a baseball game on Saturday. Well, Sam, we're gonna have to stay in the hospital. Why? Because the doctor said that you have a cancer called leukemia. Cancer? Yes. Am I gonna be sick like Uncle Marshall? Well, Sam, you have a different kind of cancer. I just don't want to be sick like Uncle Marshall. Me neither, Sam. Me neither. That was it. No breakdown, no tears, acceptance. And just like that, light began rushing back into our lives because inside of me, my parents saw a glimpse of hope, of all the consideration of how I might take it or how I might react. They forgot to consider the most important thing. I didn't know what I was up against. To me, the odds were 0-0, me versus leukemia. And I don't know about leukemia, but I have a reputation to keep up. I'm a winner, I'm a champion, and I hate to lose. So in all my battles with illness, I'm undefeated. And I don't know about you, but I like those odds. So leukemia, you better watch out, because I'm a bad man. And so, it began. Me versus leukemia. Round 1.